Okay, let's get into this. Hi, welcome to my channel where I discuss content I like, media literacy, and tropes. Lots of tropes. Today is going to be a little bit different from the formula that I'm planning to establish with this channel. But hey, as they say, no plan survives YouTube algorithm contact, so let's get into this. Today we're going to be asking the question genuinely, is all art political? And I've had a lot of research into this, mostly in the form of other YouTube videos that usually say no, followed by a rant about the woke left or something. And while I found the political rants annoying, I did generally agree that no, not all art is political. To sum it up, my opinion was, art is political if you choose to make it political, but it doesn't have to be. There are tons of examples where a story's message doesn't tie into modern politics, or where the moral doesn't reflect a political landscape at all, really. Berserk is a good example of this. While the story has politics in it, the message to keep struggling no matter what, that fate is yours to wield as long as you fight for it, that's not something I would associate with any political ideology specifically. Therefore, the story isn't in itself political. Right?
Which, by the way, hey, if you like Berserk, I made another video on it on how Guts could possibly beat Griffith. I think you should totally watch it. It's really cool. I'm really proud of it. Thanks.
But then I made a decision that would prove not only to be incredibly painful, but also incredibly beneficial. I asked this question to every Discord I was in, and got a range of diverse answers. So I began to write a script for this video based on those, but it felt off. I felt like I was coming off a little condescending and a little too cut and dry. While the answers I got were diverse, I found that my opinion was basically being reinforced, and nothing was really challenging it. But, well, this is when the universe decided to humble me, using my friends Sam and Roning. They agreed that all art was political, something I disagreed with, and my defense of my position was that using your own political lens to assign something to a piece of art and make political assumptions about it, whether that was the artist's intent or not, is bad and unfair. And my friends tried to explain to me that that was in fact not what was going on when people say art is political. And there are 4 types of people watching this right now. Those who don't know where this is going and are confused, those who think they know where this is going and are nodding their heads aggressively, those who think they know where this is going and are pissed off, and those who thought they knew where this was going and are now just confused again. If you're in any of these groups, do watch, will you? I'm not going to show the conversation because it got a little heated and I personally got a little cringe and I'm super embarrassed about that, but I do want to dissect the ideas that were mentioned in the conversation because honestly, it was enlightening. Whether your current stance is that art is political or art isn't political, watch till the end of the video. I think you'll get it, promise. So, when we say all art is political, what do we mean? Well, it's the idea that you are political. Even when you're not political, you are political. And wait, that doesn't make any sense. Well, let me put it this way. Politics has bearing on our lives. Policies affect how we live. If the government decides a certain group of people should be sent to the moon, I don't know, like the elderly or something, then the lives of the elderly become political, whether they like it or not. This is because politics directly influences their lives. They can't not take part in it because to do that would mean to get arrested. So they have to take part in politics to maybe change their position. But whether they like it or not, their lives are political. While the other groups of people, I don't know, they're young or something, are also affected by this. The fact that they don't currently have to worry about moon stuff means it doesn't immediately affect their lives, and that affects how they engage in politics. Politicians want the vote, so the lives of the young are affected by policies and promises to them, ignoring the moon conversation entirely. But now, because they are a demographic to appeal to and legislation also affects their lives are political, whether they like it or not. Now, even though the politics of these 2 groups of people, the elderly and the young, is completely different, their lives are political, and because that politics is different, their lives are different. Alright mate, what's all this got to do with apples and pears, you wanker? Well, charming, aggressively looking Cockney person in my house, if you apply my previous very dodgy analogy to every possible group of people you can think of, now you have an understanding of how politics affects our lives differently, and therefore we all live differently. Our experience with life is different, and because of that, when any of us make art of any kind, it is in some way shaped by how we live our lives. Even if it's just entertainment, why you find it entertaining is a product of how you grew up, which politics has always had a hand in, down to the school you went to. Even if you decide to make something that is not political, well, how politics interacts with you, and you it, is how you got to that conclusion, so that's political. Am I starting to make sense yet? Because of this, because of politics and how it affects our lives and shapes our experiences, that will always bleed through into our work, from our values to our morals, to what we perceive as joy to what we dread as tragedy. In the words of George Orwell in his essay Why I Write, the opinion that art should have nothing to do with politics is in itself a political attitude. And now I think I understand what he meant by that. Now, do I still think it's wrong to put your own political lens over someone else's art and judge the whole thing on that alone? Yes, but maybe instead you can perhaps see through their lens using their work, and maybe that's all we need to do to understand each other. Maybe to get closer as a species, all we really need to do is listen to each other's stories. Now, to some, I am definitely aware that this is quite a heated topic, but as humans, to listen to another's perspective and not necessarily find out that you're wrong, but be able to think, oh shit, I didn't quite think of it like that, that's an amazing thing. That thought means you have just found a new way of thinking about something, and whether you agree with it or not, that is invaluable. And the more you listen to the stories of others, the more you will find yourself stumbling into that thought. So I think, as humans, as artists, as political or apolitical beings, we should do our best to listen to each other's stories, try to understand their lens, and go from there on any conclusions we make. Something I almost forgot when debating this topic on Discord. And to be another pretentious douche on YouTube for a second, I believe that the path to intelligence doesn't lie in always being right, but being able to realise when you are wrong. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see me dissect and dig into more tropes and media I like here. Do you think all art is political? Leave a comment about it, but do be civil. That just listen to each other's stories bit wasn't just for dramatic effect. I would also like to thank CandyCarotid for giving me my corporeal form. She's an amazing artist and you should hire her. I hope you guys have an amazing day and may life reward you for all your hard work. Later.